Thought we were alive. I can see myself. I can't hear myself. There we go. Finally. Make sure it's working. Audio is a little low. All right. I'll wait for some more people to get in here. Sorry. Forgot to send, forgot to send the link out. So people are joining. We are going to talk about ICE today. I was going to have the DSA on, but they had some emergency stuff they had to run to. We're probably going to have them on next week. But for today, we're going to talk about ICE still being in North Carolina, in particular Charlotte. That's echoing. So ICE is still in North Carolina, and they're still in Charlotte specifically. Today they had said that they were leaving and were on their way out of Charlotte. I think the sheriff's department of Charlotte or Mecklenburg County has said that. That's a lie. From DHS themselves, they said that ICE is still there and is going to be there for a while. So we have a lot. They're going to be here for a while. Shout out to whoever slash ISIS tires. That's crazy. But yes, with ICE still being here, it's still important that we talk about it. It just happened while this is still going on because it's probably gonna happen for the entire duration of this admin. So um there are some websites in North Carolina and some resources. Siembra NC is a great resource for tracking ICE, seeing what's going on, where ICE is, where they're planning to go. Like they do a great job with that and tracking ICE and keeping up with them. And then they have a website that is called and I'm gonna type it in the chat as well. Uh I think it's ohosnc.org. I can't spell. Actually, let me make sure it's the right thing before I click it. But this website is basically used by them to track ICE to make sure everybody knows where they're at, where they're going to be at, where reports have come in at. And I guess I can share screen too to show you what it looks like on my end. But it's a great resource. And I'm going to share screen. Yeah. I wonder if it showed. Here we go. OHONC and not OHOS, OHONC.org is what in North Carolina we're using to track ICE and keep up where they're at, where their movements are, and everything. And it works for the entire state, including the Charlotte area, and to show you where ICE has been spotted at. Like here, we can see one where they've gotten a tip from, and then somebody will go out and verify it. But this is Charlotte, and they'll also show you like stuff to watch out for, what restaurants are at, and things of that nature. And if we zoom out, we can go, and that's part of my district as well. This area, all the way up to here. I guess Greensboro hasn't had as many things up, but there is an ice watch that goes out to look for the specific vans and trucks that they use to see, are they here, are they not here, stuff like that, because people do report tips of, hey, this is where they're at. We probably can go to Raleigh. Yep, Raleigh. That's another location where they're at. Really heavily Raleigh Durham area, and it'll tell you this is where ICE is, where they're going at, and they're a great, amazing resource that I truly believe. I support everything they do, and what they're doing to help like fight back against this administration's attack on immigrants. And remember, please, please, please remember, ICE is not just going after Latinos. ICE is going after everybody. That includes people from the Caribbean, from Africa, from Asian countries. ICE is going after everybody. So just because, you know, I've been here, I saw it again recently, and you all already know how I feel about it. For those of you who know me, you know how I feel about it. When people say like, "Oh, black people should mind our business and this has nothing to do with us," I, I like strongly disagree, because this does have something to do with us, because we have immigrants who are from the Caribbean and African countries, like in turning a blind eye to one injustice is turning a blind eye to all of them. Like we have to stay together in this. Like for all the people who claim to be like the super pro black people, it's like this, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X would spit on you, because this is also important. Like keeping track of this stuff and alerting your neighbors and looking out for them and protecting them. Like this is important. If you can, I know CNBC and the Carolina Migrant Network, which is another good organization, have brought up like if you can and if you have the means, definitely go out, protect your neighbors. If you can put your body on the line, and I'm not saying like get like at the front, but like if you can go out there, go protect those people, go like distract ICE. I'll say that, distract ICE if you can. They're gonna be like dickheads to you, they're gonna be a little mean and aggressive to you, but that means that's less time of them going and harassing immigrants or tracking these people down. I know they've recently reached out to like bounty hunters, and it's ridiculous and crazy. But like I said again, they're not just going after Latinos, they're going after all people who are immigrants. That's their goal. Oh wow, we can switch to English. Boom. So yeah, we'll see. Some people are being arrested in front of a laundromat on South Boulevard. Agents are masked and have uniforms of Border Patrol. Locations near Wow Supermarket. No arrests being made, but two agents were seen talking. One is wearing a black police vest and then hands a black police vest to the other, like stuff like that. So definitely, you can use this website to track ICE and keep up with us. None of us are free until all of us are free. Absolutely. What's up, Mizzy? But yes, it's highly important that you keep up with this stuff. I don't know if they're going to expand, but I'm pretty sure other organizations have probably already been reaching out to them to like further expand it out to cover like across the country. Oh wow, we have one. There's one. On the other side of the country from Ohos and C. Uh, and most likely this is going to happen more because there are a lot of people who keep up with Siembra NC and everything. So I feel like that's actually great. Um, that's actually really great that we have this more national. I know there's a lot going on in Chicago right now when it comes to immigrants, but yes, protect your neighbors, please. Not St. Louis, I didn't go over there. But CNBC does a great job. They have a hotline that you can reach out to. Um, will it take me there? No, I do have the hotline number though. Um, if you're in North Carolina, the hotline number for CNBC NC is 336. Am I reading the right one? No, sorry. Um, I'll give you one for the Carolina Migrant Network. The number is 704-740-7737. If you are in Charlotte and you do see ICE, uh, or if you happen to be visiting, like definitely let ICE know. Where is CNBC at? Oh, CNBC's number is 336-543-0353. And what happened? Okay. But yes, and definitely like update this. If you see ICE, let them know. You can also report sightings on this website. So even if you're not in North Carolina, you can help out somebody who may not be here. This is great. We've been using Waze and Google Maps in DC. This is much better. Yeah. That's crazy, bro. Yeah. Can you comment the number and the name of orgs and pin it so everyone can see it when they join the live? Yes. Siembra NC's hotline number is 336. Let's see here. 543 3 ONC.org. Oh, perfect. Yes, I absolutely can. Great suggestion, honestly. Their number is 704, and they're all across North Carolina. And there are some in Greensboro that's been happening for a while. But it's actually ridiculous what's going on here. So much of this money that they gave to ICE out of thin air, which they might have stole from the USDA, is going towards just antagonizing and harassing people that don't deserve it. Carolina Migrant Network Hotline. Boom. What's that? Pin comment. Boom. So that should be pinned now. But those are the hotline numbers to call in North Carolina, Siembra and Carolina Migrant Network, and you can make reports on OHO-NC as well, OHONC.org as well, to let everybody know ICE is here, where they're at, if you see them. Right now, we are boycotting Hendrix. What is the name specifically? Hendrix, the car dealership, because they have provided ICE with the vehicles. It wasn't a fight. It was they bid for a no bid contract, and they got it, and they provided ICE with all the different vehicles that they've been using, and it's absolutely out of hand. Um, We also see that Lowe's is also allowing ICE to come into their place of businesses, which is ridiculous as well, and just shows like Home Depot has people who want to work, who are immigrants outside, and for them to do this is really crazy. Or even just like Latino customers that, and so many other customers from so many different groups that go there to shop, and then this is what you do to people. Um, they're down here in Hickory, Illinois as well, and we're very out the way. Yeah, Rick Hendrick. Thank you, Byron. Rick Hendrick. He has a bunch of dealerships. It's like Flow Honda if you live in the Greensboro area, or Van York. He's the same way. Rick Hendrick, he's been giving vehicles to ICE, and just allowing them to do it. And we have to boycott him, and we can't let him get away with this. Even after this all ends, we still have to hold him accountable because it's absolutely ridiculous to support such a disgusting act, in my opinion. Um, but we have to fight back. We can't continue to sit here, and like I said before, if I when I win this seat, I will also be fighting against this. Like, I want ICE held accountable for everything they've done. He owns a NASCAR team as well. Oh, brother, ridiculous. But like I want ICE held accountable. I want Nuremberg style trials for these people who went to go run the ICE to go act like slave catchers and attack and harass people. Like, I don't care about like any of that. Like, privacy, none of that. No. If you work for ICE and you're doing what you're doing now, you knew what you were doing. It's not like you, oh, I just did it for a job. No, you knew exactly what your role was going to be, and you deserve to be held accountable. So after, like, once we win this race and we get back in there, I want trials day one to hold these people accountable, because what you're doing is heinous. And it's also crazy to see black people go run and join and hop in at, and it's ridiculous. These are people, these are losers. These are loser incels who have nothing else to do. Their families don't like them, and they're running off to go do this because they have something to prove, because they can't, nobody in their life likes them. And this is the type of stuff that you go do when you don't have people in your life that like you because you're a terrible person. You go do evil stuff like this. And then go to church on Sunday and pray about, oh, how, oh, I'm so this, and then you go do heinous stuff like this. It's absolutely disgusting. Um, but like I was saying, Samber NC hotline number, I've pinned it in the chat, as well as the Carolina Migrant Network hotline. And if you see a protest in your area, definitely go. Be on the watch for ICE. If you see ICE, call them out. If you see ICE, like harassing somebody or throwing them on the ground, you can record. Let me make this very clear. You can record ICE, you can record Border Patrol. There's nothing stopping you. They cannot stop you from doing that. They can't arrest you for doing that. That's illegal, and that's a violation of your First Amendment rights. And if they do that, you have a lawsuit on your hands, and you should go ahead and sue. Because that's your First Amendment right to record them doing what they're doing. Because if you're not, they're gonna do some foul stuff. I saw a video today that was taken in I think it was taken in Charlotte, where they had detained somebody and found out he was an American citizen, just released him miles away from his car, kicked him out, told him to go away, and then threw his wallet at him. Ridiculous stuff. There was a lady who was walking, I think, in a Walmart. Yeah, she was walking to a Walmart, and an ICE person, a black guy, let's keep this in mind, a black person doing this is heinous, but him going and walking up to her and ask her, "Are you a citizen? Are you American? Are you from here? Where are you from?" Da 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 da, stuff like that. What are we doing here? This is ridiculous. These are hardworking people just like everybody else, and they shouldn't be attacked and harassed in the way they are. And then we're also seeing that in Chicago of the people that they arrested and did all that stupid stuff and skydiving, not skydiving, but stuff with the helicopter and all that stuff. We found out only like 97% of them were American citizens and had no criminal record. The other 3% were actual criminals. So it's showing you like the catch number. There's nobody here they're not violent criminals here. We've seen it countless times, even by the numbers, that the people who commit the most crimes in the United States are Americans. Born and raised Americans are the ones that are doing like the most crimes. So for you to think a migrant is doing this and the hoax and the stuff they believe, it's ridiculous. It's lies. It is lies. Hendricks is also a longtime big money Republican donor which is why the contract was handed to him. These people have really got to be held accountable. Like you can't go forward after doing this evil stuff here, and you shouldn't be allowed to continue to go forward. They just think the money is all that matters. Is ridiculous. Yeah, and I'm sure you've all seen them. What was JD Vance do a stupid podcast and talking about some and young people are talking about why are things unaffordable and why can't I get a car and all this stuff, and it's because of immigrants. That is a lie. It is not because of immigrants. If that was because of immigrants, that wouldn't make any sense. If there were so many immigrants in this country that were here illegally, like they say, I think they like to say there are like 36 million illegal immigrants in this country. But if the number was so high as they say it is, I don't think things would be more expensive. I feel like things would go down in price with there being more people to put into these. But that's just my theory. But also, all these people are not buying houses. They're just like us. They're just like everybody else. Nobody can get buy a house that they want because of how terrible the market is and how jacked up the housing prices are. Nobody can afford to get a new car because of all the tariffs jacking up the prices of the cars. It's not it's not immigrants that are the reason for this. It's not. It's not illegal immigrants that are the reason for these for everything being so expensive. It's not the fault of immigrants. It is the fault of corporations and companies and private equity that are jacking the price up of these things on purpose. On purpose to make life bad for you because they rather have their pockets get bigger than for you to have a better life. Um They just think the money is all that matters. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I think I read that already. Apparently, they're stopping truck drivers based on how they look as well. Yes, they're literally stopping anybody based on how you look. They're going off of that and being like, "Are you an immigrant?" If you happen to be playing music, I've seen clips of people just playing Dominican music, and then here comes ICE. And in some places, like police departments are working with them, which is it's just sad. It's sick. Scott Besant's latest lie is that immigrants are the reason beef prices are so expensive. I did see that. They just say anything to scapegoat immigrants for their feelings. Yes, the Republican Party is making everything absolutely worse, and they're just following in line with whatever Donald Trump says and does. And the like saying Scott Bassett was basically saying that the reason why beef is so expensive is because immigrants are coming to America with their cattle. They're coming over the border with their cattle that have diseases and all this stuff and blah 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 blah. That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense. How are you coming across the border with a cattle? First of all, the to get here, it's already a treacherous path. Why would you also bring livestock? That just doesn't exist. That doesn't happen. That's not real. That just doesn't happen. Well, the price of it is going up because of these companies just wanting the prices to go up, raising prices like they did during COVID, raise the price of food and toilet paper and bread and eggs on purpose to get more money out of you because they just felt like, oh, I can do it. I can just inflate the prices and price gouge them and get away with it. And nobody's going to do anything about it. And have a president that is not going to do anything about it. Immigrants. They think immigrants are the ones that are bringing cattle and all these things over the border, and that's just not what's happening. Imagine, oh, they're bringing cattle over the border. What are they doing? Picking up a cow and just throwing it over to get in here? That makes so much sense. The pictures that people made of it are funny too because it's like that absolutely doesn't exist. That's not real. It doesn't even make sense. What are they, Superman just lifting the cows over? They're remodeling old houses and making them look new. Yes, a lot of immigrants will buy like a house that looks bad because also they don't have a credit score. Like they can't get immigrants cannot get a lot of things. Like when they were saying that immigrants were taking all the houses and they were getting health care and uh getting all the food stamps, they don't qualify for that. They're not American citizens. They don't get to access those programs. But they still have to pay into those programs. So they don't reap the benefits from those programs, you get the support from it, but they do pay into it and they have to pay into it. Uh, but they will buy an older house because that's what they can afford. It's probably the cheapest house they can get. And with that, they will remodel it and make it look nice. And that's just them having to make do because they can't. What else could they do? The immigration process to get a green card. And then to be naturalized is a super long process that can take like up to 10 years. I think it's like 5 at the shortest. And it also it depends on what country you come from. Like certain countries, they make it long on purpose, and others they make it shorter. Like if you're coming from Europe, if you're migrating here from Europe, your process is probably very easy compared to somebody coming from South America or coming from Asia. Like it's a long, drawn out, expensive process on purpose to try to deter people from coming and to make it more expensive. Uh, so it doesn't happen, or so they can get rid of you. And then there's also a shortage of immigration judges. I believe at the beginning of the year there were only 100. That means that's like 2 for each state. Since Donald Trump has taken office, they have fired a number of immigration judges across the country, and it's only going to exacerbate the issue that's already prevalent and make the process even more grueling and more hard and make the wait times a lot longer. And during those processes, if I'm not mistaken, you have to stay in the United States. You can't leave. You have to somehow find work, but also you have to somehow find work, but also with finding work, there are some jobs that are like, we won't sponsor an immigrant. We won't do that. We don't do that. We don't offer that. Some jobs do. But you have to also work to stay in the country, to live in the country, and to make it to show that, like, hey, I should be able to get my green card. I should be able to get my citizenship. And I just think it's weird, like that whole trade off of, oh, well, you have to get a job and work and do all this stuff, but also you can't work at these certain places, and we can't give you health, Medicare. We can't give you Social Security. We can't offer you any of these services if you need them. If a tornado rips through your town and tears your house apart, and you're a immigrant, you're not going to get the benefits of that. FEMA's not going to help you out because they don't see you as an American citizen. When it comes to labor as well, people who immigrate to this country, who work on a lot of like the in the agriculture field, because there are a lot of things they can do in HB1 visas and different and work visas and stuff like that. Um, what'll happen is you'll come here, you'll work, but you don't have any protections. You don't have labor protections. You can't advocate for yourself for more funding. Not for more funding. You can't advocate for yourself for more better pay, because basically the person who controls that farm that you're working on dictates what happens and what doesn't happen. And if you complain or try to unionize, they get rid of you. They either call ICE, or if you're on a special visa, they send you back, and you won't be coming back the next year to make money for your family. In North Carolina, there were some situations. I think over the summer, I remember seeing her talking about at the meeting I went to after the protests, where they were saying that um, a worker had died. A worker had died in the heat, had a heat stroke, wanted water. They refused to give him water. He died. They left his body there and threatened anybody if they said anything. Just left his body there in the hot sun, in the hot sweltering sun of North Carolina, in the middle of the field. Left his body there to rot, pretty much, until later in the day when somebody finally came to get his body. It's stuff like that that's heinous. That it's like these are things that happen during like slavery. These are things that happen during slavery that are happening to a lot of these immigrant workers, and it's ridiculous. Like, and to stand by and be like, oh, I'm going to mind my business with this happening, is such a spit in the face to so many people who fought in the past for better rights for you even. So like we have to support our fellow neighbors. Like they're people just like us. You can't just say, like, oh, that should happen to them because of my own feelings or whatever lies I saw on Facebook and blah 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 blah. Like I said earlier, the lie where like a lot of other people have been like, oh, we should mind our business. We don't ever see them at Black Lives Matter protests, and they weren't there for us. You're a liar. And when you say that, let me tell you, you just told me everything I needed to know, that you never went to a protest, because if you did and looked around, you would have seen that there were so many. If you did and looked around, you would have seen that there were so many people from so many different races there. There were Latinos there. There were Asians there. There were people. There were people who didn't even have their citizenship that were out there fighting alongside us. That's a lie. So please tell that lie to somebody else. You just told me everything I need to know, that you've never been to one of the protests, because you would know firsthand that that is a lie. I wonder if people realize that they have been here just about all the city in Cali are Spanish. Yeah, that's also a crazy thing where people are like, I want mass deportations and in America you have to speak English and we shouldn't have they shouldn't all be coming here while living in Palo Alto, Los Angeles, Colorado. You live in Colorado. You live in San Diego, California, and you're over here complaining. I don't want them here. But you live in a place like St. Augustine, a lot of places in Florida. It's like these are named like what language do you think that is? Improving the community. Yes, they absolutely are. Yet their goal is to break systems so they can stay. Hey, look, the system didn't work. Yes, and I wonder. Yeah, true. Cali was Mexico at one point. Yes, Texas too. Like I don't think people realize Arizona, Texas, New Mexico, Colorado. Like these were part of Mexico before I think it was Teddy Roosevelt went in and took it and was like, "We're gonna take it. It's ours." Um, yeah, crazy stuff like that. But it's stupid. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. Like in my opinion, this is the craziest time period of our lives where we're seeing the most dumb idiotic stuff be said, be uttered, be repeated back, and people just fall for anything. Like literacy is important, and paying attention. And media literacy is very important as well. Um, so you can see like what's going on, and they do that breaking the system on purposing with so many things, like healthcare. Healthcare is one of them where they purposely made uh the Affordable Health Care Act a week so it can fall apart and they can take years to pick apart at it to be like, see, we told you this is terrible, just to get rid of it, not replace with anything better. Um, and then they point to countries like Canada and say, "Oh, look at their healthcare system is bad." Yes, because also they have Canada has universal healthcare, but what happens is there are people there who pick it apart on purpose. They get lobbied and they get money to pick it apart piece by piece, pick it apart so it falls apart. So then the government and the people on the side who want to profit off of privatized healthcare can be like, "Oh, look, it fell apart. We see, told you it didn't work. It's not good." Da 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 da. America does this a lot with so many things, and even like corporations do this with like products where they make them faulty, so you have to buy a new one. But yes, our government puts a lot of programs in place that fall apart on purpose. They were intended to fall apart and break apart. Don't forget all of them in the Mexican restaurants on Cinco de Mayo. Exactly. Exactly. More manifest destiny. BS. After COVID, the world went backward and upside down. America is still laying the nerve of these people to try to reject immigrants when they are described descendants from immigrants. POTUS and VP are married to immigrants. It's all a joke. Yeah, it's like playing in our faces, honestly, of being like, "This is bad. This is terrible. We can't allow these many immigrants." Meanwhile, their spouses are immigrants. Like, it, uh, Melania Trump is an immigrant. All of Trump's wives are immigrants, I do believe. I know Ivana, Ivana, she was an immigrant. All of his wives are immigrants. Uh, JD Vance, yeah, his wife is an immigrant, but you know he might be marrying Erica Kirk next. If you saw the memes, you saw the not even the memes. If you saw the video, you saw the video. He might be marrying Erica Kirk next. Um, uh, even like Cash Patel is an immigrant, main one rallying against immigration and all that stuff. You had Vivek Ramaswamy. Elon Musk is an immigrant. He's not from here. No, Marla isn't. Marla Maples is homegrown. Okay, the second one is from here. She was an immigrant. Yeah, so the second one was an immigrant, but the 2 out of 3 are. um, but yes, like even like the people, like I think he was in charge of like the Proud Boys or something. He was from Mexico. He was born and raised in Mexico, and here you are leading a white nationalist organization. Crazy times, crazy stuff we're seeing here. But we have to look out for our fellow neighbors, and protect them. And like the big thing that's been happening in North Carolina is a lot of kids this week didn't show up to school. I think it was like 45,000 students did not show up to school this week because of ICE raids. Um, because they just felt like if they went to school that they would be kidnapped by ICE. And the threat is serious. Like that's a valid reason for saying that, because we did see when this first kicked off across the country that ICE was going into schools, and there were some principals of some schools that were like, "Yeah, we're gonna let you in. And you can do it. You can come right on in here and pick the kids up and take them." And that's kidnapping. That is kidnapping. That's kidnapping. Stealing kids or they're waiting at the pickup line. And so a lot of parents are like, we're just not going to go. Churches are also reporting that there's like a drop in membership because a lot of people are not going to churches because ICE is also at churches. And I think Trump tried to, no, he did pass an executive order earlier this year that says like, oh, ICE has permission to go. ICE has the right to go into churches and schools and all this stuff. That's illegal. That is illegal. And I think a lot more businesses, and Siembra advocates for this as well, and they're advocating for that in North Carolina currently about having Fourth Amendment businesses, where at your business, your place of work, you can say that you are. If ICE walks in there, you can say, "Get out! This is a Fourth Amendment business, and I do not allow you to come in here. If you're gonna come in here and arrest anybody, you have to have a warrant, and you kick them right out of your business." And I think Greensboro is working to become a Fourth Amendment city so that all businesses here have to adhere to that, to be like, hey, this is a Fourth Amendment place of work. You're not allowed in here. And some employers have been letting them in, like Home Depot has been allowing ICE to just go in there and kidnap people. They are wanting ICE to come to Greensboro. ICE coming to Greensboro, I'm strongly against it, and I will be at every protest against that, because get out of Greensboro, get out of our city, go Border Patrol, go back to the border, and Border Patrol go back to the border. And I don't want immigration and customs here either. Like, you're causing traffic, you're causing traffic and issues that are affecting people. You're kidnapping kids, harassing people, just throwing people in the back of a truck because you think they're an immigrant. Like, what are you doing? This is ridiculous. This is a dictate. This is some dictator type shit that is literally happening, and it's evil. It's pure evil, and it needs to stop. Today, and I can talk about it quickly because this also pertains to why my reason was for supporting it. Earlier this week, I was reached out to by Citizens Impeachment, which is an organization, and they're forming a coalition to put forward treason. I think it's treason and some other things that they're wanting to charge the president with. And they said there's a different process, and they have law scholars and history scholars that are aiding them and helping them out to create this, because they fully believe that, and we can see it with our own eyes, that there's bribery, there's corruption, there's treason that's happening right in front of our faces, and it's ridiculous. And one of the things that's happening, one of the reasons why I was very in favor of it, was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll be a part of this coalition and I'll join it, and I'll happily be a member of this group, is because of what's happened with the ICE raids. Like, all this stuff is illegal, it's inhumane, and then you're calling it a war and saying it's a war, and you're doing a war on your own people. Illegal. Pack that up, get out of here. I want that man out of office. And JD Vance is going to be next. And if Trump did get removed, and I say, hey, remove all of them. Let's keep the process going. If I win this seat, I will happily, if there's an impeachment resolution put on the floor, I will happily vote for it. I will support impeachment. I will support impeachment, and I even go further than that. I'll support a Nuremberg style trial to hold everybody in this administration accountable for what they did. And I don't want to hear anything about it just following orders. No, you are complicit in what's going on, and you turned a blind eye on purpose, and you happily joined it to go be evil and nasty and cruel to people. You have no place in this society, and you need to go. America has a rough history, and it has done a lot of bad moments, has a lot of terrible moments, but in this moment specifically, you chose to be a piece of shit. Like, voluntarily went and chose to do this stuff and be a part of this and go get on, and you could have blown the whistle at any point in time. But you were so gung-ho about doing it. You knew what you were joining. You joined the evil empire on purpose, and for that, you deserve to be held accountable. And that's why I'm happy to be a part of the Citizens Impeachment Coalition, because this needs to happen. You absolutely need to get impeached for this stuff. They have their own process. You can check them out at Citizens Impeachment. They had a press conference today to announce it, and you'll see my video that I had published with it go out today. But they're building the momentum for impeachment, and I believe everybody should be in favor of this. Like, even after this administration ends, like, We're not doing what happened in the Biden administration where we're going to wait to the last minute to try to do anything. No, I want everything done the first day. Everything is taken back. If we take back the House and the Senate, next day, I want to start doing trials. If we take back all three in 2028, keep the trials going. More trials, actually. Round up all of them because of what they've allowed to happen in this country and what they've aided in deserves some repercussions. Yeah, accountability now. Like you should not get away with this to run around and do all this stuff. Like, no, you don't get to flee this. You need to be held accountable. Trump releasing um Trump releasing the January 6 people back into society, like, and a lot of them, if you know, a lot of them came from North Carolina. A lot of the January 6 people came from North Carolina, and you just released them back. And there were kids who reported their parents that went and did it, and they went back home, and the kids fled. They were like, "I have to leave for my own safety and privacy. I have to leave because I reported because they reported their parent as being um one of the January 6 people." It's truly crazy and it's a shame. For everybody joining, we're talking about me being a part of the citizen impeachment coalition that they formed, and also about ICE in North Carolina and my feelings on that and thoughts, and also my what I my call to action is telling everybody go join a ICE protest and speak out against this, and be in your congressman's DMs about it, in your state congressman as well. Like, tell them you want, if you live in North Carolina or if you live in a state where ICE is affecting, which is everywhere. So everybody should go and call your local mayors, city councilmen, your state reps, your governor, your U.S. reps, and let them know you want ICE out of your area. You want them gone because of how terrible it is. You don't want to see people. You don't want to see ICE bum rushing your grocery store and arresting a cashier. You don't want to see ICE body slamming people in the middle of the road. You don't want to see ICE busting people's windows open and trying to kick people's doors in. You don't want ICE on your property harassing you because they believe that, oh, you're an immigrant or we got a word or a tip that no. And now they're employing bounty hunters to go out and do this stuff now and engage with it. So many have been getting rearrested for violent crimes. Yes, a lot of the people who released from January 6th have been arrested for crimes they did even after that. Like, I believe one of them, a lot of them, actually not even one of them, a lot of them were released and were pedophiles or being rearrested for being a pedophile. Like, this is the type of stuff that we have going on here. They're a danger to society and a danger to children. And you release these people back? No. And then we have ICE acting like the Gestapo and just terrorizing and harassing people. This shit has to stop. Then we have to fight against it at every point. If we sit and bow and just let it happen, as my governor of North Carolina, Josh Stein, or my new governor that I supported, gave a weak lapdog statement talking about we have to welcome them with open arms and show them North Carolinians follow the law. Weak. And then he had to make another video to try to fix that one, and it was just as weak. I don't want my governor being weak to this. Like, you need to be fighting against this. You need to be on the front line. I want to see you out in Charlotte and Raleigh, out with people protesting, saying how much you're against this. Like, I want you to say how you're against what's going on here and not allow this to continue on. Fight back. Tell the state troopers, tell police officers in different municipalities, like, hey, you can arrest these ICE agents. If they're violating traffic laws, if you're seeing them harass and attack your citizens, arrest them. Arrest them and throw them in jail, because what they're doing, this is not their jurisdiction. They cannot do traffic stops. They cannot try to arrest you for any traffic violations. They can't do any of that. They're not allowed. That's a violation. That's a violation. They're not allowed to do that. So stop them. If you see ICE committing crimes, record them and report them. You get the license plate number, you report them. If you get a badge number and name, you report them. You report them for everything they're doing, because this is ridiculous. This is terrible. And I'm firmly against it. He's definitely not Roy Cooper. Yeah, Josh Sean, Roy Cooper. Well, I don't know, because Roy Cooper himself, I don't think has said a statement too much about it. He hasn't said too much about it either. But it's like we can't allow this to continue on. I think Roy Cooper might have said something, but it still wasn't as strong as what we want. Like me running for office was because a lot of the leaders I saw around me were weak and have been weak for a while, and wonder why they keep losing races to Republicans, because they run on weak positions and run on weak things and don't want to fully be bold or actually stand on something. Everything a lot of politicians around here, everything they've done has just been, oh, well, I'm going to be, I don't want to be, I want to fight against Trump and just that. And it's like, okay, what are you offering? Like, yeah, like, of course, like everybody is against Trump, but what are you offering as an alternative? You can't just be anti Donald Trump and not have an alternative. And that's why people are upset. Like from in my platform, we're not vague. We're very bold. We're pro Palestinian. We're anti genocide and apartheid no matter where it's happening. We want anybody who's in favor of or supporting or aiding it held accountable. I want universal health care. I want universal child care. I want universal school meals. I want a federal jobs guarantee. I want more unions. And we have too many politicians who are scared to stand for anything and just pick based off of, oh, well, what is the national DNC saying? You know your area, speak to what's going on in your area and advocate for that and fight for it. That's what you're supposed to do. I jumped in this race because the other campaigns I saw on the platforms they were running on were weak to me. You weren't standing on much. You weren't standing on anything. You were just, oh, I'm gonna idly go by and do this. Sorry. Oh, my voice. Woo. But they were idly. Oh my gosh, it's worse. They were. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. But they were idly going to stand by and just wait in the wings and just be in opposition. And let me tell you all something. When your congressman says that and they're going to be in opposition, that means when they do get power, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to push the envelope. They're not going to push forward. They're not going to fight for progress. They're not going to fight for you. What they're going to do is get power, sit in there, and then hold their hands and say, well, we can't do anything. So sorry, we can't do this. We have to follow the law and oh, well, we can't do that, or that's not what we do. And it's ridiculous. My favorite line to always say is, um, my favorite line to always say is, this is a game where they're this is a game where like this is like Airbud. And in Airbud, everyone's dunking on them, just straight dunking on them, scoring. And here come the Democrats crying and saying a dog shouldn't be able to play basketball. Why this isn't in the rules? The rules. Meanwhile, Air Bud just put up 50 points. Fight back. And we need fight back. We need more people to fight back against ICE, against this administration and stuff like that. But thank you. My mom brought me water. But fight back against these things. And we want somebody who's gonna like stand true to that and not just sit by and let it happen and not do anything. People want a fighter. They want fighters in Congress. They want to elect you to go be a fighter for them, not get power and then sit on your hands and do nothing because of your donors or just because you don't feel like fighting. Well, if you don't feel like fighting, get the hell out of Congress. Get out. Leave. Because you're wasting everybody's time. If you're not going to fight for the people, why are you in there? Especially as a Democrat, you want to win. You want to win right. You want to win right. Like you should be able to fight back. I don't think the young folks know about Airbud. Am I showing my age? I'm only 26. I promise. We can't be that out of touch. But Airbud is basically a dog that can play basketball. Airbud is a dog that can play basketball, and that dog is dunking. that dog is dunking on them, and they're just sitting by and letting them dunk and talking about the rules. Like, let that go. We need to move on. Let that you need to fight back. Get your own dog and have them start dunking and everything. Um, let's see. I don't think the young folks know for but yeah, I hope so. Is everybody relic now? I don't know. I hope not. Let's see what we're doing on time. What happened last uh live was Instagram has a limit at an hour. And so like add an hour just cuts it. Doesn't save it, just cuts it. So I'm watching, I think we're at like 51 minutes now. So I'll wrap this up pretty soon here. But yes, like check the pin tweet. Not tweet. Oh my gosh. Well, you can also check out my Twitter as well, where I have the same information about the ICE hotline, the SEMBRA hotline, Carolina migrant, and all that stuff on the Twitter, which is Tavin4Congress.com. Tavin4Congress.com. I'm losing my mind. The Twitter is Tavin for Congress, where I'm a little bit more quick of reacting on there. But like Instagram's my number one thing that I'm on. But yes. And there's gonna be a lot more information to come out. Like, I'm not gonna just leave this alone. I'm probably gonna talk about it as long as ICE is here, because I want ICE out of North Carolina. They have no business being here. There's no reason for them to be here. The Republicans in our state legislature wanted them to come here for what reason? I don't know. Because of what happened in Charlotte, where that like attack had happened with that innocent immigrant from Ukraine. But that's not a cause for ICE to be brought in here. That has nothing to do with ICE. That has nothing to do with customs. That has to do with a system that's broken, that released somebody who should not have been released, whose own mother advocated for him not to be released him back into society. And we can talk more about that on like a criminal justice, when I talk about criminal justice reform in the coming weeks. And I'm gonna try to have a special guest on there, one of my old professors from WSSU, Dr. Monell, on for that one, because it's gonna be a great conversation. But yes, like I fully believe we need to be actively fighting back against this, because oppression anywhere is oppression everywhere. You allow one thing to happen in one place, it's going to happen all over, and we have to start fighting back. We can't just sit idly by. Like there are so many movements going on to fight back against this and jam up the years, and I believe we should be doing this. As always, like I'm always going to tell you, join the DSA, join your local DSA chapter. Some of them are a little more crazier. I will say the one in New York is a little more, a lot stronger, real strong. But join your local DSA. I'm proud to say that I'm a member and endorsed by the Winston-Salem DSA chapter. I love them so much, and they do so much great work around the city of Winston-Salem and their and just in the area in general. And they're always there for support and for mutual aid and for projects that help the people, and fighting for stuff for the people, like more like better sidewalks. If you live in the South, there are not many sidewalks. And if there's a bus line, the bus line just is right there on the side of the road. No, just a sign, and you really can't show it. But join your local DSA chapter, get involved in your community, go to a food bank, and like donate wherever you can, because we're gonna need each other. We're gonna have to look out for each other, because we have an administration that's taking all the money and giving nothing back, that's doing whatever they want and not looking out for us. So we have to look out for each other. If you know somebody who needs food, point them to a food bank. If you live in North Carolina, I've got the list on my website for all the counties that are in my district and for the state as a whole, and where to find it at. Because we're gonna have to look out for each other. We are, and it sucks, but we are going to have to look out for each other. And thanks, Mom. And also, if you haven't donated our campaign, please do at tavenforcongress.com. It really helps out and really helps this campaign keep going. If you don't know, you can donate more than one times. I think the limit is $2,500 max is what you can give in the election cycle, to one per candidate. So definitely, I would appreciate a campaign contribution so we can keep this going and keep in this race, so we can flip this seat from red to blue for one, but also to stop this heinous stuff that's happening all around the country. Small donations help out. Like, even if you have $5, that helps out as well. That goes so far. You don't have to be rich to donate. Like quick $5 helps out just as much as um quick $5 helps as much like with the campaign as somebody who donates more. Every dollar counts. It all adds up and it all helps to keep us going in this race. So yes, definitely consider donating if you can, and check out the website in general. Just read up about more about me, my policy position, what I'm fighting for, and volunteer as well. If you have time and can, I would appreciate some volunteers. It'd help out so much because there's so much to do and so much going on, and I only have but so much time in the day to get everything done without going crazy. But yes, I would appreciate that. But yes, we're gonna do these like I told you all on Monday. We're gonna do these every Monday at 7 o'clock and every Thursday at 6 o'clock. Um, so in each week, each day is going to be a different topic. Today we'll be talking about ice and my feelings on ice and my position on ice and all that stuff. But yes, when I win this race, top priority day one, we are abolishing ice, and we're gonna create a new department that handles this stuff. We're gonna take that away from DHS, and we're gonna have a migrant justice department or department for migrant justice to help out so many people that are in the immigration system for years waiting to get their citizenship. It should not take that long. It should take no longer than a few months for you to get your citizenship. It should be a quick, easy process. It's only made long and drawn out and always overpriced and all that stuff on purpose. These like you can't go tear up the world and not expect people to come here, the shining beacon hill on the hill, the shining beacon, the shining city on the hill. You can't expect to go tear up the world and people not to come back here. We have an immigration problem, well, we really don't even have an immigration problem, but they claim it's a problem. But if you look at where a lot of these people coming from, they come from countries that America has torn up in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s with the war on drugs and just wars in general. You've destroyed these countries, and now these people are coming home for help because you destroyed their country instead of helping their country out or fixing it or letting them decide their own fate and their own future. So it's time it's time. We need better immigration services to help people get through this process a lot faster than what they are now. And seeing that we are quickly hitting the hour mark, I'm going to wrap it here. Thank you all for watching and tuning in. I really do appreciate it. I love you all. Donate if you can, some to volunteer if you can. The website is tavinforcongress.com. I will really appreciate it. And I'll thank all of you for being here tonight. Stay tuned for Monday where we will have a different topic, and I'll probably announce a topic over the weekend once I figure out switch stuff around. But I'll be right back here on Monday at 7 o'clock. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you all later.